How are things with you, firstly, your family, and the community in Halifax?
Alhamdulillah, things have been stable. We are coping. This is thinking about it as the new normal and try to make the best out of it. Family is good, alhamdulillah, rabbil alameen. The community is also finding its way through its coping mechanisms. It's not easy, but yeah, we are not hearing any particularly damaging news about our community, and except for the expected cases going up and people feeling anxious, and people are really trying to understand the fact that a Jumaah passes and nobody shows up. Nobody knows. Things like that, yeah.
It's so weird on a Friday that usually that's a cornerstone of your day on Friday, and it sets the tone for that day. You're getting ready, you're going, and then it's not just, it's not a normal day, for Muslims. So it is a little bit, it's strange. It feels weird because, that time comes and you're like, I should be in the masjid right now.
That's right. Yeah. I'm wondering what you brothers did or have been doing over the past Jumaahs that there was no Jumaah, because we had people who held Jumaah at home, like myself.
Yes. Yeah, I actually my father said, okay, next week you need to come over and lead Jumaah here. So there, we may do that next week, inshallah. But I don't know if that's become very common. What I have seen, though, is there's a lot of videos that are circulating during the time of Jumaah where you'll have somebody give a khutbah in an empty masjid or something to that effect, or give a virtual Jumaah khutbah. It's not supposed to be meant to be a real Jumaah khutbah, but at least people will get the reminder on that day. And I don't know how it's caught on in terms of doing your own Jumaah in your house at this point.
I think from an Islamic perspective, what I can say, and I need to authenticate some of these. First of all, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, وَجُعْلَتْ لِيَ الْأَرْضُ مَسْجِدًا وَطَهُورًا. This one is authentic, that the whole earth is made clean and masjid for me. So, but the other one is if the number is sufficient for doing Jummah, especially according to some of the madhahib. But the Jummah itself in Islam is called a sha'ira. A sha'ira is the large worship practices that people do usually outside, like Eid, like Hajj, and Ramadan, that everybody feels. So that it also speaks to the presence of Muslims, and it speaks to the brotherhood and coming together. So that is why. That is some of the reasons why we have Jummah. So it's social. It's more than just family. So from those angles, you can look at it here and there, and say, okay, we should, okay, or we shouldn't. But the virtual Jummah does not give the sense of the Sha'ira, because it comes to it may come to families, and people can hear that. My personal understanding is you can get maw'idah, a preaching from an old Jummah, but you can't replace the current Jummah for a virtual Jummah. Not to my understanding. I may be wrong. I need to authenticate that. But if you have a small Jummah in your house, at least keeping with the hope that someday we will take this outside when all of this is finished. From that angle, that's where I see it supported to have the Jummah at home.